Hey friends, Misha here, creator of the Oracle of the Wild TalismAnimals, and today I have my brand new deck just arrived on Tuesday, and I have opened it and looked through it just to make sure that everything was okay, but I haven't had a chance to really take some time and bless it or cleanse the cards, and so I thought it might be nice to do a little video for you to show you how to do that. Now, please understand, this is not a rule. There's no rule that says you have to do this. There's no requirement. But I have found over the years that if I do this, it's kind of like I like to think of the cards as my friends. And if you do something when you first get them to just really like connect with them, get them comfortable with you, you get comfortable with them. It's kind of like if you just met a new friend and you said, "Hey, can you come do this thing for me?" If they don't know you, it can be a little bit funky. So I really love to sit with my new decks and cleanse them. And I'm going to show you how to do that today. So first off, you've got your deck. I've already taken the shrink wrap off of this, but of course, if you haven't done that, go ahead and take a pause and do that. I know not everybody likes shrink wrap, but I wanted to have at least something on there to keep them protected. So you can just, I actually, a lot of times back here where the box seam is, I'll take a knife and very carefully, like that's where I cut. So that's a good way to do that. So once you have your box, you can open your deck, and I really love to have like a nice area set up to do this with my cards. Now today, for purposes of filming, I don't have like a big beautiful cloth with a lot of crystals or everything or anything because I want to show you how I'm doing this. But normally when I'm going to do this at home, I will have like a nice spread cloth and some crystals. And the truth is I'm sitting in my apothecary. So over here, there's like 6 billion crystals. Like I'll show you, like there's this beautiful one. We'll go ahead and put that one here. There's this one, which is amazing. We'll put her here. So there's like some of my favorite crystals are like already in here. This piece of this one, apophyllite. So some of my favorite crystals are like off frame, but I promise you, like this is a beautiful environment to welcome these babies into the world. So that's the first thing. If you don't have the ability to do that, that's okay. Again, there's no rules. Just, go with your heart. But there are two main ways that I like to work with in order to cleanse my card. One is sound. So if you have like a little bell, you can ring a little bell over it. Or I have this beautiful sound bowl that I got from my friend Susan at the Crystal Cave. And I'm going to work with that in order to just do a really nice kind of cleansing over the cards. Now, there are many different feelings on how to do this. I am just going with what I've been using for like the last 20 years that I find works really well for me. If you disagree with this, that's fine. You do it your way. But for folks who maybe don't know how to do this or what they're doing, you can kind of figure this out and work out however you want. So one of the easiest things to do is just use some sound. So if you had like a rattle, you could use a rattle, you could use a bell, but it's important to, set the intention. So for me, I've already opened up space here. And again, I'm in my apothecary, so it's kind of always open, but I'm just going to take a moment and just set the intention to allow the sound from this bowl to kind of shake off the travel dust. These cards, when they came so far from China and they were packed with so much love, but I just want to have the energy of the sound help remove any heaviness, anything that might have accumulated during that journey. So I really like to really gently hit the sound bowl first and let that vibration happen. And then play it. And if you wanted to, as that's playing, you can pass things like the book, the box over that sound bowl if you have a sound bowl. If you have a bell, you can be ringing it. And you're probably saying, like, Misha, you're talking while you're doing this. I am. It's true. Yes, after I make this video, I will go through this process again privately, but for purposes of demonstration, I'm showing you right now, right? Okay, so sound is one option. If you had a bell, you could ring the bell on either side. You could even pick up your cards and ring, and what I'm about to show you with the smoke, you could do that with the bell as well, or the sound bowl. But the other thing I really love is working with smoke and plant energy, because clearly I am an herbalist and I love working with the plants. So one of my favorite plants to work with when I'm doing cleansing is lavender. I love lavender. It smells really good. I've had this wand of lavender for probably a year now, so it was wonderful. I do work with it a lot and it actually gives me a lot. It doesn't really burn down that fast, so I love it. So what I'm going to do is light my lavender, and of course you want to do this in a way that's super safe. And I am going to go through every single card, move it through the smoke, and then I'm going to take a moment to appreciate it, right? If you've never seen these cards before, or anytime you do this with an oracle deck or a tarot deck, this is a great way to look at the cards and just admire them and get to know them a little bit better. So what I'm doing is I'm passing each card through the smoke. And as I'm doing that, I'm making little piles. So I'll show you. So you can kind of see in this basket, I have 4 piles. So I'm going to do the first 4 cards off the deck, and then I'm going to take my deck and I will cut it. And the reason I'm doing this is because the cards that I'm making here, the piles, are shuffling the card. They're actually helping me to get my first shuffle as well. And I'm just making sure, because anytime cards, or most times when you have cards with gilded decks, they can stick together, edges. So this also lets you make sure that your cards are not sticking. So I've cut the cards. So I did that once, went through, did 4, and I cut it again. So I'm not just cleansing the cards, but I'm also doing the first shuffle with them, which is a really nice thing to be able to do too. And I know what these cards look like since I created them, but this is a really beautiful thing to be able to do. A lot of times when I get a new deck and I am shuffling in this manner, it takes me a while because I just find myself so captivated and just have a lot of fun working with the deck. So let's go into fast mode. We'll go through this whole deck and then I'll show you how I close out. Okay, now that we have gone through and cleansed every single card, I've got 4 piles. I don't want to drop the basket, but you can see I've got 4 piles. So all I'm going to do is stack those piles one on top of each other. And again, the benefit of this is not only did I get to take some time to really sit with my cards, look at all the beautiful art, admire them, appreciate them, but now they're also all clean and clear and they're shuffled too. So if you, like for me, I'm going to go ahead and do the box, both sides, like all the sides, the lid. And, I look at this as not just cleaning and clearing, but it's also a really nice way to honor your deck and really start to connect with it and give it some love and love up on it to start. So when you're done, you want to do whatever you like to do to put your plant out. Sometimes I'll use a little tiny bit of water. Sometimes I'll use sand. Sometimes, like today, it's barely burning. Like I did the whole deck with hardly anything. You do not need a huge flame. So I'm just gonna let that go. And now I have my beautiful, this is so funny. Look at what's on the bottom. Did not plan that. But of course the hummingbird's on the bottom because they're so excited and they're like hummingbird, hummingbird, hummingbird. They are very pernicious in the best of ways. And I didn't even, mean to do that, but there you go. The hummingbird's on the bottom. So sip the sweetness of life for sure. But the lavender, it's already out. So that's easy. And then one of the things you can do if you want to just kind of give your deck a little bit of extra love. I've already done this with this deck, but I had rose petals in here. You can put crystals. So I could take this and set maybe, if I had like a nice piece of clear quartz or a smoky quartz, if you had something, this is not either of those. This is a piece of moonstone, but just as a demo to show you, like if I wanted to set a crystal on there and put it like maybe if you have an altar or someplace safe in your home, just to kind of welcome it into your space. This is a wonderful way to get connected to an oracle deck or a tarot deck, not just mine, but any of them. It's a great way to work with your cards, cleansing and clearing and just setting it up with a nice space. And now you are ready to work with your deck.